Hello, gorgeous women of the 100K Day Mastermind. I see Aaliyah coming on, Lena coming on. You guys right now are moving the way most people never move. And I'm so proud to see the way each and every one of you are showing up. Aaliyah has an event this weekend. You have to let us know in the chat, Aaliyah. How are you feeling? Your event is this weekend. Lena, you just launched an event in New York City. Hello. This is massive. I would love to know how you guys are doing, where you're at on the journey. I know, Aaliyah, you're getting ready to actually facilitate. This is so incredible. So I could not be more excited to jump into today's call and support you in all things events. And I'm just loving the way that I've seen each and every one of you show up. Lena, the video that you posted was just extraordinary. I definitely felt you. I love what you and Samaya are doing. Aaliyah, I've seen you just move. You're a force. Like when you put something out and you really put your energy into it, like this event, and I've seen you do it multiple times, you can put an event out and in weeks, you're like, your event is full. It's incredible. So I just love to see you showing up and taking massive action because there's a force behind you. When you move in with the right intention, I see it. It's like God is with you. Everything just orchestrates to make it happen. The universe rearranges for you. So I just love this so much. Aaliyah says she's fired up. Lena, yes, finishing my matcha. I'll go second. You got it. Absolutely. Well, if you'd like to come up, Lena has volunteered to go second, so I'm going to invite you to come up. Aaliyah, how are you doing? I know we have a one-on-one later. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm excited. I am a little overwhelmed juggling a million things. We have so much going on here on the property today, tomorrow, setting up for everything, and it's exciting. And I'm crafting the run of show right now. I'm jazzed for our meeting later so we can really thread the seeding the offer throughout all of the experiences. And also just I am working on how I want to present the offer. And I've been going back and forth about like the way that I actually pitch the offer. And I have some reluctance over like a hard invitation. When I came to your first event, the one that like the very first one at your apartment, I really loved the way that you invited us with the envelope. I thought it was so classy and it wasn't in your face. And it really like it planted a seed in me. And, I'm like one of your closest proximity clients now down the line, right? So I saw that it worked too. And so I'm feeling like I want to do it that way. I bought these beautiful envelopes. I'm going to do like this gorgeous letter. Everyone's going to have a gift that is related to the experiences that we're going to have. But that said, I still want to talk about the offer. I still want to talk about what the society is. I want to make it sound juicy as F. I want to make it seem like a total no-brainer that like people want to be part of it. But I'm not going to do a hard invitation. Like there's not going to be a table rush thing, like go sign up right now. But I was thinking about should I talk about the run of show and like how I want to place it now, or should we just talk about bigger concepts?
Why don't we take a minute here on your invitation? Because number one for you, I love the envelope invitation. I do have a template if you need something like that as well. But let's stay here for a minute too, because I know we're gonna do run of show and everything. And I wanna make sure you feel so important, or not important, you feel so grounded in here, because the first session and the invitation are two of the most important pieces in your entire event for anybody who's watching. So I always say you wanna spend the most time on these two sessions. If you can pick two sessions out of the entire event, invitation and your first session of the entire event, because that's going to build the momentum and this is where you're landing the plane.
Yeah. So the first session is where I've spent the most time planning it. Like that's gonna because that kind of sets the tone for the whole event. And everything that I talk about in that first session is leading towards, sisterhood and co-creation and basically everything that facilitating from stage, everything that the Infinite Woman Society stands for without ever saying the word Infinite Woman Society anywhere in the thing. And then that leads us into a ritual
So can I
where,
pause you for a second?
yeah.
Because I want to go back to the part where you are talking about the invitation and you're saying you don't want to do a hard sell, because I want to dissect this for a minute, because I want to really make sure that you are, it seems like there's a certain energy that you want to convey with the invitation, but I also want to make sure that you are in the right mindset of selling and that you have the right belief system around selling, because I don't want anything to come in the way of like you really serving the audience. So I'd love to go back to the invitation part for a minute.
Yeah.
And why don't you tell me like your vision for the invitation and kind of like, what do you mean by you don't want to do a hard invitation? Like, tell me a little bit more around that.
So what I mean by I don't want to do a hard invitation is I don't want to I don't want to say what the price is. I don't want to say go sign up right now. I want to say this is what I'm offering. You would be amiss to skip this opportunity. And we are going to the moon. And if that's your desired destination, then you better hop on this rocket ship because here we go. And
So can I ask you, is there a reason that you don't want to say the price? What is the
yes,
reason?
the reason that I don't want to say the price is because I have created a very sacred experience. And it is vulnerable. It's an energy work journey. And I have talked to a few people about it and also checking in on my own feelings about it. And I feel like if I was in that environment and somebody like brought me something to buy when I'm in that state, it would not feel clean. It would feel sticky and it would prevent me from being able to go deep into the energetic work that I'm there to do. So, so that's why I think that it would put a block up instead of it being like an opening feeling. I feel like it would be a closing feeling. So that's why I don't want to do the hard sell. A soft sell. I'm going to talk about everything about the society. I'm going to introduce what the society is, and everything, just without the hard sell. Do you not think that that makes sense?
My question for you would be, do you not believe that your invitation is a sacred energy?
Um,
Because from my perspective, it seems more like a belief in the offer. And if somebody gave me an offer and they didn't give me all the details that I would need as an analytical buyer, I would personally pick up an energy that you don't have the belief enough in the offer to share the price, and then I might not buy it. So it really is like, I want to make sure that you're doing it from a place, like, is there something deeper than that? Do you believe that your offer is a disruption of the space? Because it almost like, I would invite you into a different belief around the offer, that your offer is actually the most transformational piece of that entire event. So why wouldn't you say the price?
yeah. It just feels sticky. It doesn't feel like energy work. No, I don't feel that about it. You're right. There's that feeling is there. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much.
When you think about like stickiness,
Hmm.
like what does that mean for you? Like when you think about that, like what's coming up for you around the invitation piece specifically?
Okay. So this is an invitation to explore your artist, to chisel out your masterpiece, and it's a vulnerable place to go. And we've just done, at this moment of the soft invitation, as I'm calling it, we've just done some like really deep activation work. We've like gone into like the mainframe, and yeah, it's like a really vulnerable space to be in. And to bring like a here, buy this right now, in this moment, it just feels I don't know, it doesn't feel like it's an integrity moment to do that. Like I feel like I want to put the presentation there and to say here's what we're offering, and like come talk to me after if this feels like something that you want to be in. Just feels like a more pure um alignment type of invitation.
Yeah, and I totally understand that. And I would challenge you here on a couple different things. Number one, like 100%, you can have the CTA be whatever you want. It can be book a call, it can be DM me X word, it can be scan the QR code and place a deposit. Like that can look however you want, and it doesn't have to be like in the next 45 minutes when you place your deposit on this, you're going to get, but wait, there's more. Like it doesn't have to be that kind of energy around the invitation. But I
Yeah.
would challenge you to really reframe how you view the offer, because right now it sounds, from your energy and the way that you're describing it, it sounds like you feel like selling is a disservice at your own event. That's the energy that I'm picking up.
It's not that selling is a disservice in the event. I think that the moment matters, and that the way that this event is structured is like it's a whole journey. And so right now, in this moment of where I'm doing the soft invitation, is right in the middle of more energy work, and it just doesn't feel like the right spot. And then later on, it'll be like after dancing and things like that. It'll be late in the evening. So again, that doesn't feel like a good place to talk about like here's the price, like sign up now. So that's why I thought invitation, envelope, gift bag, let's talk um, is is the move. Um,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think that so often I see this, and I see this in so many people, and this is what actually is a mindset that I would invite you to open and to reframe. Is that so many times I see women who is like, okay, it's like it's time for the invitation, and now we're gonna do it, and it's this big thing. But like, I would invite you to break out of that paradigm of like the invitation or the sales piece is like just when I do this offer, just when I give this actual letter, just when I do this, because like your entire event, if it's done correctly, it should be a really beautiful accumulation of like, yes, serving, but selling the entire time. And the other thing that I would really, invite you into is that, like, yes, you can give massive transformation and energy work in the room, but the people are going to get the best transformation in your world when they come into your paid offer. So it's almost like I feel like you're beating around the bush of the fact that you have something that can change the lives of everybody in the room. And really, when I look at you and I look dead in the eyes, it's like, do you actually believe that?
Oh yeah, I do believe it. It's for sure going to be the most transformational thing to join the offer. There's no doubt about that.
Because when I see somebody that doesn't have conviction in either the offer, the price point, or the invitation, this is typically what I find. It's like an avoidance of selling, or like an avoidance, like turning the volume down on yourself and on your transformation and on your work. So it's like I would really invite you to anchor into that, because for me, it doesn't look like a strategy thing as much as it looks like a conviction in the offer thing. And that's the really what I would love to see is it's like, do we need to increase your certainty around either sales or around the offer or around the delivery of the invitation so that you feel so rock solid? Because, I personally just love to see a woman who is so backed by what you're doing and so backed buy what you're selling, because it's like you don't have to do this hard invitation. And it's, I go back to the energetics, and we go back to the energetics of your event, and that the people who can like actually feel this, and it's like we don't need to do this whole like table rush urgency formula. However, like I do believe in certainty and repetition and like the actual conviction behind the offer. And even if you're not doing something that's like more of a masculine, like table rush, buy now, get your deposit in before you leave the day. I personally believe if you're not doing either of them, that there's a flat energy around the offer, and it doesn't feel like the conviction's there. So that's like the part that I would like, I'm like, if you're not gonna do urgency or you're not gonna do this, like I would love to see you crank up conviction and crank up your belief in the actual offer, and really like get so grounded in like, no, this is my event. I'm gonna change your life. I have this offer. This event is gonna be fun and it's gonna be a party, but this isn't really where your life is gonna change. Like your life is gonna change in here. And yes, we've done XYZ in the room, but your next step is to come in here. We've already done this work, we've done that work, but now your next step is to go in here. And it like, it doesn't have to be, and I think, I believe that oftentimes, and I love, Brandon Burchard says this, he says like, your internal insecurity is not market reality. Like there's people in the audience, I'm the kind of person I'm like, yes, sell to me. Like, yes, I want to hear your offer. So it's like, I would just invite you to like, I want to open up that conversation, because it's like,
I
I
was
know
thinking
this is
about
new
that. I was like,
people.
I was thinking about the way that you sell. Like you open your mouth and you start selling. But here's why I think that works for you, is because what you are selling is selling, right? So people who you're selling to are like primed and ready for selling like language. But that's not really what I'm doing. So it's not, though people who are receiving this are like soft healers and are energy workers, and it's like more confronting to come out with that kind of language. So it's like a different approach that I think is necessary. I don't know.
Yeah, so I think that you just have a certain belief around selling that it has to look a certain way, because it doesn't. When I think about why do people buy, it's two things: identity activation and internal desire. And your way of delivering identity activation and internal desire is going to look completely different than me or completely different than Lena. And that's the beautiful thing, is like we could each have three completely events and they could all pop off in their own unique way and be their own unique style, right? So that's the thing I really love about bringing these events to life. But that would be the one thing that I would invite you, you know, to contemplate on. Of course, we're going to be able to go deeper into this later, would just be around like the belief that you have around presenting your offer, and around like, because the energy that I'm sensing from you, it feels like for me that it's a disservice. Yeah, Lena, you can 100% if you want to jump in. Like that's the energy that I'm sensing. And the reason I share that is because sales is a transfer of certainty. So we don't need to have the perfect like buy this, do that, do that, but we do need to have this rock solid certainty. So I'm going to open up. I know Lena said she wants to jump in. I think this will be valuable because she's in a very similar like feminine space. So Lena, why don't you pop off? I would love to hear you contribute to the conversation.
Yeah, I wanted to bring the reflection because I feel like I would be someone who would go out to your event. And there's a difference between being projected, what most people in the spiritual realm space have considered as pushy and salesy, and you seeing the people in the audience in their power of discernment of actually feeling you and where it's coming when you're selling. So if I am in a space where I know I've done a lot of energy work and I know that you believe in your offer, for me, seeing the price, even though it's confronting and being like, oh, it's an edge for me, I'm gonna know I want in on the offer based on the energy I'm gonna feel from you. And so if I know your intention and I can feel your intention is because you see so much power in me and you believe in the transformation, even though the price might be confronting and I have to deal with my own fears and my own scarcity mindset or whatever is coming on, I will never feel like you push something on me. But if someone feels like that, in my personal opinion, it has more to do with them than you. because you know the intention of why you're selling, why you created the offer in the first place, and selling it would just be you being of service of delivering the transformation, and that's step one, bringing people in. So yeah, I feel like I totally understand what you're saying, but it's not necessarily the price, but more knowing that your intention is pure from the beginning, whether you say the price or you don't say the price. Saying the price won't change the purity of your intention of inviting people in, and how you do it is definitely gonna make people feel where you're coming from, and knowing how much you don't want to make them feel like that way, it proves that you're really pure in your intention of doing that. And so you going for it and selling it, and of course it doesn't have to be a hard sell. I feel like people can feel that, and if they already know you and have been in spaces or know you personally, they also know your heart. And so I feel like unless you go out of character and like start doing something that's not in integrity for you, with you, then people would feel that. But other than that, I feel like it would be just a projection of people fearing whatever they experience when they know the price.
So you think that as a like think of it like a day retreat kind of vibe. You know, you've just had like a sound healing and a tea ritual, and then you get this offer in between, and then like now we're gonna move to a burn ritual. It feels safe inside that window.
Yeah, because what you're saying is not, in order for me to appreciate you, you have to buy my thing. You're saying if you've loved whatever we've experienced so far, then it would be an honor to support you for the next 6 months, 12 months to continue this journey. And it's just an invitation. And then I see it as, oh, there's this pathway that exists. Is it of support of where I'm going? Yes. Do I want to go there? Yes or no? And it depends on them, but it's like you're just saying, I love this so much that I've created something where we can continue this work, not just for a day, but for 6 months. And if that's for you and you are desiring that type of support, I would be honored to mentor you and guide you in this journey for the next 6 months, which feels much more of a,
Yeah,
imagine what we
that is
did right
softer.
now.
Mhm.
We can do that for more time. Doesn't feel like pressure or anything. It's just like excitement of possibility.
Yeah, that does feel softer. And it also does value pace the rest of the evening. Like, okay, so that's what this experience is really worth. So I see the beauty in that part as well. Thank you. That was very helpful.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I love this, and thank you, Lena, for jumping on. And there's an energy behind that, right? Like there's an energy behind selling and the invitation, and I love that. It is an invitation, and there's an energy of sharing the invitation to get something versus sharing the invitation because you're so obsessed with this work and you know that the transformation is actually life changing. And I've seen you do an invitation in front of a room of people, and I know that your energy, and I know the kind of spaces that you facilitate. And I couldn't imagine you selling too hard. Like I can't even imagine, and that's why I'm like over here like pushing you a little bit and giving you a little bit of a love and shove because I know your energy, I know your spaces, I know your intentions. It's going to be nothing short of the most beautiful thing, the way that you frame it and the people in the room. And there's going to be people that are so excited for that opportunity. So, how are you feeling after a little bit of deepening into the invitation piece here?
Yeah, I feel more open to it. I am seeing now how it can be delivered softly, and still saying the price. And I do think that it does value pace the rest of the evening also. And just it's good for seating, even for anyone who might not be buying today. They'll be ready, or they'll be primed for the next time. So, and then I'll still do the envelope at the end. Maybe in the envelope, I'll also include my closer proximity offers, like the one-on-one, do like a full offer suite. Not a full offer suite, but a tight offer suite. Um, yeah, I
I
like
love
it.
it. I just know, like, I believe so much in you and I believe so much in your work and I believe so much in your spaces that, like, I just know that this is going to be life changing, this event. And we can talk about it more on our call, but even when you do that initial invitation, like you can give the envelope at that time. And then when you go and talk about it and you just kind of revisit it a few more times during the night, it doesn't have to be this hard thing like, okay, make the deposit right now. It's like, here's the invitation. We know that there's something here. It's out, like the right people are going to join, and then you can touch on it a few more times throughout the event. And then it doesn't have to be like this big thing. It's just like, no, like this is what I do. This is who I am. These are the spaces I facilitate. And if you know that you want to hold these transformational spaces and you want to facilitate life-changing experiences for your people, in a way that grows you and in a way that like propels you forward towards your desires, like let's go.
Hmm. Yeah. Amazing.
Well, I'm
I'm gonna,
excited for you.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, and the envelope's going to be a really beautiful thing. I mean, I love for an intimate event. I love the envelope invitation. It's classy. You have like this physical token to take with you, so it's like, you've got all the information that you need. And then it just gets to be a really beautiful way of like you being present with the audience. When you do that, it's not a whole value stack. It's not this whole like thing. It's just a really nice clean energy around it. So I think that that's going to be an incredible way for you with the size of this event, with the people in the room, with what you're facilitating. And I just know that the way that you deliver things like that, like a gift bag with an envelope, it's gonna people are gonna see the presentation of that and they're gonna be like, okay, I can only imagine what this offer will be like if this is how beautiful the invitation and the bag is.
Yeah. 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 Also, there's no screen for this event, so it's all just like from the heart. So, that was the other reason that I thought like having something tangible in the hand, is valuable. And of course, there'll be a communication on the back end and all that, but um, yeah.
And let's just be honest and real. It's vulnerable to stand in a room full of people who came to your event and share your offer to the world.
Hmm.
Like it is vulnerable. So even though they are in a vulnerable spot and like they're going through this deep emotional energetic work, just know that like in that moment, like you are matching that vulnerability with you opening your heart for the invitation. And like for so many people, that's a piece that they want to step into. They want to be able to go in front of a room. They want to be able to facilitate, but also deliver an invitation like that. And the leadership that you're modeling by being in front of that room, it's not just like, hey, I'm going to help you craft a facilitation. It's like, no, like, I'm going to show you how to lead in a way that you can lead with your heart and grow your business at the same time. And you get to model that and like really lean into the leadership piece of that. It's like people aren't just going to hire you for, I mean, yes, the life-changing things, but like they want to embody the leader that you are. And I know that's a big pillar inside of like what you're teaching is this leadership identity, this infinite woman identity. So really let that be a piece where you can let her shine, where you can show up as her, where you can model that leadership for everybody and the right people who that's a fit for. Like they're going to absolutely love it.
Yeah, no, that was a really good point. I hadn't considered my role as modeling because that is an important piece. And yeah, if I'm gonna say that people should be creating their own offers, then I should show how we create an offer.
Yeah, I love
Although
it.
I do want to have like a conference style event also that's more like, the typical way that presentation and offers are presented. I think as I've been crafting this event, I'm realizing the value of that style as well. I might just do it virtually, but yeah, I think since I'm talking about facilitation, figuring out how to show and pitch an offer in a facilitation event is pretty key. I've never seen it done. That's the problem. I've seen it done a million times in conference form. I have never seen an invitation inside a ritual experience before in my life. So this is like trailblazing on a new level for me. But I guess that's what it's about, leading edge.
Well, I'm so excited. Yes, this is an embodiment of what you teach, living on the leading edge, being the infinite woman, like leaning into that space and that expansive piece, like pioneering your own path. I'm so excited for our one-on-one later. We can dive into this. We can talk about the facilitation, the invitation, the sales balance. I've done this before with clients, and it gets to be everything. You get to do it all. Like it doesn't have to be one way or the other. So this is going to be so much fun, and I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. This was very good, very
Okay.
helpful.
Okay, I love this. I'm so happy. Okay, and Lena, you have New York event. How are you doing?
Good. It's been fun to go on the edge, announce that, but we haven't sold any ticket yet. We had the early bird for 48 hours. And then there's a pre-sale. We just like did a full on, like it's 222 for early bird, then it's gonna be 333 for pre-sale for 2 weeks, and then we jump it to the normal price, which is gonna be 444. And there's a VIP option too. So my question was how we can move the needle because we closed the early bird, so now it's 333, and nobody bought at the early bird stage. So yeah, I wanted feedback on what we can do, any strategies to move the needle a little bit more. Because it's in 2 months.
Okay, yeah. So let's talk about it. I love this question, and the first thing I'll say is I believe that people will buy at any price point too. So
Yeah.
just because pre-sale's over, like it's only the beginning. You've only opened the doors. There's still so much time. So why don't you walk me through? Also, what I'll do too is I'm gonna pull up if you have the link, why don't you drop the link in the chat for the event page if we want to look at it. But why don't you tell me a little bit about like what you've kind of done so far in the launch process? Bring me up to speed with how you've been launching it and promoting it, and then we can kind of like dissect a little bit and come up with some fun ideas to get the right people in.
So the checkout page is pretty basic still because it was the mystery. We drop it in, and this week, the next few days, I wanted to take time to do more of an in-depth sales page because we just wanted the ball moving. We had a call. It's like, okay, well, we opened the card. I just created this, and we brought up the link. So I know right now it's not saying much about who it is and what it is. It's more like the ticket tiers and the checkout page. What we've done, we both seeded the offer mystery a few days before we opened the cart, being like, something is happening. If you want to be the first to know, DM me NYC, this, that. Then we launched the reel that you saw with automation around commenting to get the link. We have also a giveaway that we decided to extend to get more visibility. So people, if they share the reel and tag their friend that they want to bring, they can win 2 tickets. And the other piece was sending a few emails of like when it launched. And what else? And for sure, personal invites, people that we knew would be a good fit. We started to send that out. We had a few back and forths, a few clients reached out, but most of them, it was because of the dates. They were already somewhere else in the world, already vacation plans, things like that, and that didn't work. But yeah, so personal invites, newsletter, mystery, then newsletter launch, and the reel and stories here and there.
Okay, and what is your goal for the event? Tell me like a little bit about like what kind of like venue are you doing it? Like how many people are you wanting in? What is the vision?
At first, we were like 25 to 30, but both of us were like 100. Like, if we were honest without thinking of the timeline, both of us were like 100 would be next level. So in base case scenario, we go all in and we sell 100 tickets. The venue, I'm still looking at a few things. I have potentially a venue in a hotel. Oops, sorry, my dogs are birds. We have a venue, so it's a capacity to 250 people, a ballroom, classy. If not, I saw like more like smaller studios with rooftops, things like that, up to 30 people. So we're waiting to go into the full direction once the momentum is there to see like what venue we choose and pick. But that's the two options. Either we go all in and it's like more of a ballroom kind of space where we can have the 100 people, or we go something smaller, like up to 50, whether we're 25, 30, 40.
Yeah, and it really, so I would go here because this is also going to determine like the energy that it pulls from the marketing is like, what do you want the frame of the event to be? Because this is going to be two separate frames of two separate sales processes and two separate experiences and two separate marketing messages, right? So when I think about, of course, there's a benefit to each, right? There's going to be a benefit to doing the ballroom. There's going to be a benefit to having like the hotel and the conference style and all of that. And like, I'm sure it'll look incredible and you can have really cool AV and all of this. And there may also be like this big space where you might feel like, do I have pressure now to fill this big space?
Yeah,
Now,
that's why we haven't committed to a venue yet.
yeah, so it could be, there could be some of that energy. Now, on your nervous system and also on the frame, you could also very much benefit, especially if it's your first one. Not to say that you can't get 100. Like that is not what I'm saying. And I believe that you could, if you could go pedal to the metal, you could fill 250 people in the event. But it's like, it depends on like what frame you want. I see, especially, so when I think I'm looking at this sales page, dissolving money blocks, embodied visibility, and like really like this wealth and legacy concept. I know what you guys are both doing is like you're doing the feminine receivership, she's doing subconscious money blocks. And it almost, when I think about that, that feels like a we're gonna go deep event. That feels like when I think of like a space for like the intimacy piece, you could also change the frame. So most people do these big conferences and they're like, it's gonna be 100 people or 250 people, and it's gonna be this massive thing and it's gonna be great. However, you could change, what are you selling at the end? Are you selling a mastermind?
We haven't chosen yet, but it's gonna be some sort of mastermind where they get access to both of us.
So I could almost see you changing the frame from like conference to a one-day mastermind where it's not a conference. It's not a thing, like you're framing against a conference. It's like
We've said since the beginning more immersion than conference,
yeah.
but yeah, we can get even more intimate for sure.
Yeah, because I think when you can keep this frame, it's like, no, this is going to be a mastermind and these are the specific tangible things we're going to work on. It's like X, Y, and Z. And you can paint that vision of like what they're going to leave the day with, or who, not even just what they're going to leave the day with, but who they'll become on the other side of that. Like imagine, I'm thinking like it's June, so this is in August, like you start painting the picture of who they're going to be at the end of the year from the work that they do inside of this event. The other thing that I'm seeing, let me just go through this. I see visibility on there, and I could see even one of the things, I don't know if you have this in the actual ticket, but I can see there being some kind of, whether it's the VIP tier, like we've done like 15-minute content experiences where they'll go with the photographer for 15 minutes and you get them into that state in the room and you do this like really embodied mini brand photo shoot or something like that. So it's like you become this person in the room, but then also we're going to document it. So you're not just leaving with a new belief system, you're actually leaving with, you know, the tangible assets to become visible. So I could see, I'm thinking about like an intimacy, like I could see the intimacy play being really powerful and like the type of work that you're doing. But that would be what I would invite you into is like, what are you really feeling in your intuition? Like now that you're, I don't know if you've looked at the venues or like, what are you guys kind of leaning towards in this part of the process?
I mean, both are nice. I guess for my intuition would more to see the difference in prices because that would determine the level of pressure, I guess, that we would feel in terms of the things because still like small studios are pretty pricey still for New York City. So it's like, is it a big gap? Is it a not so much of a gap in between the two? That's where it's still a question mark inside my body where I don't know like which one I feel more rock solid. Because if it was just like a typical conference room, I would go 100% in the more intimate one. But these hotels are really artsy. It's like there's a line of hotels. There will have one in Miami. There have four in New York, and the one that the venue would fit most of our requirements. It's in Brooklyn, so it's like chandeliers. It's really beautiful. So in that sense, for the vibe, I would see ourselves in both of them. But of course, when we speak about the tangible assets of who they become and the type of work, knowing that we're only two, it makes sense that it would be more intimate and smaller if we want to go deeper. So yeah, intuition wise, if we want to go all in terms of the transformation and the depth of that transformation, of course, it would make sense to go more mastermind style. But the space itself, I feel like both could be, the vibe would support both.
Yeah. When are you guys going to visit the
We
places?
haven't, like, we're still in the back and forth of knowing the quotes and all the things by email. So once we get that and we have a better view of, yeah, we're feeling more this one than this one, then we will move on this. But Sumaya is leaving for a month for Europe, so I feel like if we visit, it would be more when she comes back.
Mm. Is there any, because I'm like, is there any way that you could, without the quotes, just go, or if she's in New York, right?
Yeah.
Like, I would ask her, be like,
Or I have another friend who could also go and feel
mm,
because she's leaving tonight, so
oh,
it doesn't work.
oh, that's a little tight. But
Yeah.
because one of the things that you could do is you could do this dramatic demonstration of actually, yeah, Leah said you need to get in the rooms, feel the energy, like get in there, but make a big deal about it. Like I would like literally be like, hey, can I pay you a couple bucks to actually just go and create a ton of content and make it dramatic? Like you don't have to say anything, but like I don't know, like make it just like take the video of you in the cab there, take the ad getting out, like going in, like every single piece of it, and you could create, and then she just Dropboxes it to you. You go and do a voiceover, and it's like, come with me as we go to pick a venue for, you know, like the Radiant and Rich live experience. Because at that point, like now people are watching right now. You like built the momentum, you've got the buy-in, and it's like we want to keep building that momentum. So I could see that being something, it's like a dramatic demonstration, even if it's not you and you're not there live, where you really build this excitement and this momentum around it. And it's like, we're doing something that's never been done before. Like, there's a big energy around even just like picking of the venue. And that also can create that more urgency around like the next price raise or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would make sense. Because even if it would be my friend who has nothing to do with the event, it's still like the embodiment of like, I'm not even there and we're making it happen, you know? It's like another another vibe. But yeah, but the things that I saved it, but it's like in terms of the vibe, for sure, there's one that is a bit more next level. It's like I don't know why it's not getting on my save things. It's rooftop and we can see the whole skyline and we have the option. That's where I have to be more clear if we have access to the inside part, but if not, there's like full on covered space on outside in the rooftop too, which it's in August, so I don't know. It's gonna be probably too hot to do all of it outside. But yeah, I'm gonna go deeper into that for sure this weekend. Get clear on this.
Yeah. One of the things that I love to do is like ask myself if this were going to be the biggest launch ever, who do I need to be? Like if this were going to be the biggest launch ever, or if we were going to do this launch in a way that we've never done before, what would that look like? So it's there's a couple things. Of course, like we could talk about tickets and like, do we want to do some kind of, one of the things that we did for an event that we have later this year is we did like a high proximity short-term mastermind, and we bundled in this in-person experience with that. So that's you're in it right now. You're coming to it, the 100K day mastermind. So we did something like that where it's like you could do a short-term mastermind or some kind of offer and like bundle it in. If you guys have, I mean, you said you've reached out to, you've mastermind clients, high proximity clients, like all of your highest proximity clients.
Almost all of them, yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that you could also do is, are you guys generating like any kind of like leads or email list or anything around this? That you have like a hot leads list, people that reached out, like a spreadsheet, you're like, these people are interested. Okay, so that would be something, especially if you're like, I would 100% start tracking the people that are interested. One of the things that you can do too is you could even create like a quick opt-in for a Telegram experience. It's like, hey, we're gonna show you the behind the scenes of how we're hosting a conference. So it's like right now I don't see like a lead capture. That's the one thing that now it's like, oh, everybody who's interested in even just the behind the scenes of hosting the event, facilitating that, now at least you know that they have some interest in the event. Now it's like you can bring them behind the scenes, you can document the process, but you can also be selling to them inside of Telegram and doing like these special ticket offers or special things around that. So it could also be that somebody might need more relationship. I think about, why do people buy an event? Why do people buy an event? Well, we buy an event, and of course, Aaliyah, you could chime in the chat too, because of, well, what's the transformation of the event? Like, what's the vehicle? What are we going to learn? Who's in the room, which can of course bypass even the teaching subject or the vehicle. Who's in the room, what kind of people, but also the relationship that you have with the host inside, so you and Samaya, or the experience overall. So I think when people start to see that could be something that you could do, is like, how can we start to generate more leads and more hand raises around the actual event itself? Because right now we can't really get a pulse of who's looking at the sales page.
I love it. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, and it's true because like just funnel hacking life, I've never listened to anything from, I knew who Russell Brunson was, but I never listened to him ever. But I knew all the people that were going to be there and that he was the last one, and Tony Robbins, and I was like, okay, I'm going, without asking myself. So yeah, definitely creating that momentum is going to be an asset for sure.
And even something like that story right there, I love even that story of you going to Funnel Hacking Live and you not knowing who the speakers were, not really knowing anything about ClickFunnels, or like, I don't even use ClickFunnels. But here's why I went, and then here's what my life and my business looked like, and here's the relationships I made in that room, and here's like, really like piecing, like, what are the different angles that you can play on in the marketing too? So those could be different things we can look at. Number one, like, how are we framing the actual event? We just talked more about like the actual, I know you're going through venues, but what's the frame? Because the frame on a mastermind, it might just appeal to somebody different than like a frame on a big conference. So the frame, that's going to, for some people, determine, do they want to be in this room? How are we going to sell it? We can look at the offers, like, anything, do we have anything that we want to bundle it with? A short-term mastermind? Do we want to bonus a ticket with something? Do we want to, like, how else can we complement this ticket in addition to something else or on its own? When I think about this, embodiment of the sales, like the process of planning, the process of picking a venue, the telegram behind the scenes could be a good way to collect leads. Any stories that you have around events. I know that you've been speaking at events, you've been going to events, so really showing that like that's been a massive part of your transformation and how you've gotten in the room, Costa Rica, Mexico, like you've done what it takes to just, even like Body Talk Live, like telling the story about how Body Talk Live was only a couple months away and you went and you dropped everything and you spoke on the stage and how it changed your life and your business.
Mm.
So we could look at the content, different angles. Oh, go ahead.
Would you make the Telegram experience free, or would you make it micro offer out of it?
It depends what you're going for. If you're going for volume of lead generation on your email list and really like a warm leads list of people who are interested in the event, I would go free. Now, can you do upgrades inside of it? 100%. You can do upgrades, you could do these micro experiences inside. But I think having an opportunity for somebody to say, I'm interested in this event that is not, like ManyChat or just not a sales page, so that you can go and follow up with them, have a quick conversation with them, like that can be something that can be really valuable long-term.
100%. Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
Good. I love that. Great. And yeah, I was thinking of I'm personally this month launching a runway offer to sell my mastermind. And I thought that whoever signs up for the mastermind in July gonna receive a ticket for the event as a bonus. So that's one pairing that I was thinking of. But that's individual on my end, but we could definitely brainstorm or something really high value, short term, like the mastermind could be a mini mind with the both of us, and then her too. Yeah.
One of the angles too, it really depends on who your audience is and what they desire. And if your audience is entrepreneurs, is that the main people coming in the room? What you could do is you could reevaluate the ticket stack, and you can look at the ticket stack and ask, is this really playing on the desire? One thing that we've done at our events, and I see it over and over again, we were just at a conference where somebody was selling these for thousands and thousands of dollars, is monetizing speaker spots as a VIP ticket. So now you could go from, I'm just going to sit in this room and be passive at this event, to no, we're opening up some kind of a speaker competition or speaker spot in the VIP ticket. So it's like now when I'm thinking about you for ROI of your ticket sales, I'm thinking about you potentially shifting from a volume of low ticket to intimate, higher ticket sales, where you're going to get more bang for your buck up front with ticket sales. You could contemplate opening some kind of like, hey, we're going to take you through this embodiment, and there's a visibility piece. And guess what? Then what we're going to do after we break through your blocks is we're going to put you on the stage and we're going to film you on the stage. So it's not just learn how to get visible. It's actually, no, there's a VIP ticket where you get to speak on stage. And now it doesn't have to be a big thing. We just did a speaker competition where it was like 5-minute spots, 10-minute spots max. So you could think about that. And then you even think about that, like, okay, we sell, you're going to have to cap it, but maybe there's a segment built into it where it's like you are putting them in this vulnerable, visible spot, but there's an embodiment piece attached to that, right? And it's like, so now we take this content creation theme up a notch where it's like, I don't know, we did one this weekend too. It was really fun. We had like judges and like a whole panel, and it was like there was a winner and people got prizes, and it was like super fun. So now it went from, and people were paying thousands of dollars for the video to speak on the stage. And you think about this, I think about People Move Mountains, like, you've seen it, we're in some other affiliate programs together. It's like, people will drop what they're doing to go do whatever it takes to speak on this stage or to go do something. So it could be something of like reevaluating now that you're looking at, okay, like, what's the frame? What's the experience? Do we want to reframe some of the tickets? And then you could go from more of like a quantity to a quality of like those kinds of people. They've invested in a higher ticket VIP ticket, like they might even be a better buyer for your mastermind at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. We were thinking of doing the speaker spot for the partner program of like if you sell that amount of tickets, the highest top affiliate would get 30 minutes for them to facilitate something.
Yeah, and I mean at that point too, you have to also think about it too is like with capacity, with time, do we want to leave it up to chance of somebody? Or do you want to give them the opportunity where it's like I would even 30 minutes is a lot for a short 1 day conference. 30 minutes is so much. Like could you reframe it? It's like a mini TED talk, like,
Mm.
like a potent activation kind of a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
30 minutes for somebody who's not a good speaker is also a really long time in an event.
Yeah, we were thinking of also like interviewing the like once the affiliate starts growing and there's people selling tickets, feeling yeah, is this someone that we want to let's to bring as a speaker
I've
for
seen
sure.
like, yeah, I've seen like anywhere from like 400 to like $2,500 to speak for like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
So it could be something to contemplate on, think about. Do we want to just open? That could be that's exclusive. We only have 5. I think I opened up with, I want to say, Aaliyah, that was the first event that you came to. We had a speak on stage VIP ticket, and you were one of them. And we opened up a specific number of spots. We did a VIP telegram before the event where I taught them a framework of how to deliver the talk. They practiced by delivering it in telegram with their voice. So it was this whole like embodiment practice, and it added this additional layer of like exclusivity. And then the people that joined the mastermind were the people that were in that VIP. I facilitated it like it would be a mastermind. So that could be something to contemplate and consider. Like, would you
So
guys be willing to open that
you
up?
would just you would add a third tier that would include like a 5 minute speech.
What do we have right now? Do we have
Because the
regular
only thing
VIP?
is that we're keeping it unless we just change the VIP tier and we add that and we bump the price. Because the VIP thing is it was an extra day the day after of mastermind of a brunch and spa day. And we wanted to keep it intimate to be able to have these conversations. Like it's not going to be 20 people, it's 10 max for sure.
What if,
So
yeah,
go ahead.
you could do 2 things. I like the 10 spots. 10 spots, and you think about that. Here's the thing, you even have an event with 15 to 20 people still, if it's an intimate mastermind frame, like that's gonna be a really killer event. It's still gonna be fire. 10 spots, you add, and I mean like a 5 minute speaker spot, 5 times 10, that's an hour where you have a couple minutes to transition each person on and off. That's not gonna add, even you do 7 minutes, that's maybe an hour and a half with emceeing people on and off, like an hour and a half of your day. That's what I go to. I say, what's gonna move people to fly to New York, to reschedule their plans, to move their Airbnb, to book their dog? Like, is it a spa day? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe they still want that. But is there something else that we could like sprinkle in? Or does it make sense to take some of those things and like, I think about how can we give them the promise that they want, radiant and rich, dissolve money blocks, unlock. See, I see unlock embodied visibility, and I'm like, here's the frame for embodied visibility. We're gonna unlock your money blocks, and then you're go on the stage, and you're going to like actually speak. We're gonna record it, and like the spa stuff sounds fun, but it's like, do people really want to drop everything that they're doing for just that? I think that sounds incredible, and I want a spa day, but it could pull on the identity, human desire of feeling seen, feeling important, feeling like they're a part of the event.
Mm-hmm.
So you could really play up that visibility, embodied visibility tier. I just see it over and over again. Like people will jump at the bit to speak on a stage. So it could be something to consider. How can we turn up the dial on the visibility? And then that could be the thing. It's like, okay, maybe we need to adjust the price. Maybe it needs to be a little something different. Now we need to consider, is there a videographer that's going to film that one bit? And now they have a speaker video of them speaking on the stage, which if you want to get booked on a stage, you need that.
100%. Okay, love the ideas. Okay, I'm gonna let it simmer, move,
Yeah.
and bring the direction for sure.
And yeah, and feel free if you want to drop any of those things inside a Telegram, you want to drop like ticket stack ideas, if we need to like re-look at that or like look at the different things that are included. Those are the couple things, like the frame, number one. What is the frame of the event? The visibility piece, whether that's your content, your own stories around events, showcasing the selection of the space. And I could see that being a big reveal. When you do the selection of the space, if you choose to add something like that, like a mini speaker spot, we've done as little as 3 minutes. But people who get on stage, like, you don't gonna tell them it's 3 minutes, right? But we've done that, and that could be the reveal of like, okay, we've picked the venue and we're doing something crazy, it's never been done before, and then you drop that, it's like, boom, we've opened up 10 speaker spots, and it's like, what? So there's this curiosity, the momentum, but then also like, how can we generate leads? Telegram group, free Telegram group, get an email list going, keep a tracker of everybody who raises their hand and says they're interested, and just put them there so you can follow up with them later. And then getting creative with the offers, bundling, doing it, launching a mastermind. Samaya's launching one, you're launching one, new people coming in.
Yeah, I love it. Amazing. Great, thank you.
Okay, you're so
Post it
welcome.
on Telegram.
I'm excited for you, and that would be, I think that's, you know, the promise too. Like, I know that you guys are going to throw down. I know that you both create such transformational spaces. Like, I know Samaya's work, like, I've been in the rooms with you, like, I know your energy, and I have no fear for you guys that you're going to create something that is mind-blowing. And then that would be the only thing. How can we look at that promise? Remove generational money blocks. It could even be, you could even flip that from dissolve this to become the woman who does XYZ. Well, what's the benefit of dissolving the blocks? That could be something that you look at. Benefit driven, the embodied visibility, yes, those two things. How can we crank that dial up in the promise and the delivery of the offer and the experience of the event? We just threw some ideas out. I really see that being like, you're going to become the woman, and then we're going to put you in the spotlight. We're going to put you on the stage, then we're going to give you these assets. Like, that's $1,000 ticket right there. You know what I mean? You sell 10 spots, that's $10,000. You just balanced out, you just broke even for whatever you invested in, and now you can have just a really fun time and show up. So I'm excited for you.
Yeah, so I love that. I love the cranking up dial and shifting for the benefit. Definitely.
Yeah, those two things, I think, even just in that promise, and then the experience design to push those forward. Here's how we're going to do this promise in the room. Here's how we're doing it in a way that's never been done before. Here's how we're going to help you do this, like, embodied visibility. Well, what is embodied visibility? We're going to remove the veil from you. We're going to remove the screen. We're going to remove this, and we're going to give you the mic. Like, who does that? Nobody does that at an event. So yeah, play around with those. If you have any questions, you want to drop anything inside of Telegram, any ideas, that you want to riff on around offers, content, ticket stacks, any of that, here to support you. And this is just going to be incredible. I'm so excited for you. Okay. This is amazing. I could not be more excited for the events that you are hosting. We have such incredible experiences that you're both creating and facilitating, and they're so different, and they each are just magical in their own special and unique way. And the way you guys are moving, the way that you guys are showing up, like, this is extraordinary. An event in New York City, this is the most magical, biggest city. Like, this is actually iconic. This is actually legacy, Lena. And what you're doing, like partnering with Sumaya, the way that you guys are showing up, like this is just going to be so life-changing for the women in the room. Aaliyah, you have a boot on. Aaliyah has a sprained ankle, and she sprained her ankle, and she said, should I still do it? And we said, yes. What a story you're going to tell from your next event. When you sold the 2.5 weeks, you filled your event, you went for it, you showed up, and you know the way that you're going to lead this event. And I just saw Leah. She came to an event that I was doing with a client this past weekend, and she showing up with her boot and just running around, and I'm like, that is leadership. Like this is legacy leadership. And I'm just so proud of each and every one of you. You guys are legendary. What you're doing is changing the world. I really truly believe that this work is the work that's changing the world. And after being in the room this past weekend, it really reconnected me to like the heart and the heartbeat and the vision and the soul. And people really need this. So when you can really show people that you see them and they need to be in this room, or they're in the room like Aaliyah, you're doing this weekend, like you really see them in this room. This is more, that delivers more than any experience or any, you know, incredible gift bag or like any offer, any invitation. It's like to have that heart to heart connection and like make people feel seen and build a space where people can just lift them up and give a platform for them to become somebody, the leader that they knew they were always meant to be. Like this is the work of our lifetime. So I love you guys so much. I'll see you in Telegram. Drop inside of Telegram if I can support you in any way. I cannot wait to see your event this weekend. Aaliyah and Lena, this is going to be the best event of New York City. All right, I'll see you guys so soon. Bye.